So today we are going to be looking at a strategy for dividing called partial quotients. Okay, and we know that when we look at division, okay, we have the big number 1,896. This is called the dividend. We have the number we're dividing by. So in this case, let's make this 16. Okay, that is called our divisor. And our answer in a division problem, or the number of groups that we have based on a divisor, is called the quotient, right? And the quotient would go right here. And in this case, we are going to be doing partial quotients. So instead of writing the quotient up on top, I need a separate space to write my quotient. So I'm going to draw a line. That's where I'm going to keep track of my quotients. Eventually, at the end, I'm going to be adding those together to get my final quotient, which will be the answer to our problem. Okay. So when we're dividing by a number like 16, a double-digit number, we can't use our basic facts. So normally when we're doing division, I'm recommending use your basic facts and use that to divide. We think of multiplication. Well, in double-digit numbers like 16 or 23 or even bigger numbers like 386, I don't know those facts, so we can't use basic facts in the same way. So instead, I'm recommending that we use multiples of 10. So 16 times 10 is 160. 16 times 100 is equal to 1,600. Okay, and we're using these. We could even, if it's bigger, you can go up to 1,000, 16,000, right? We are using these as kind of an easy way to do the multiplication in our head, and we will use subtraction to find out our partial quotients. So, for example, I know that 1,986, if I multiply 16 times 100, I'm going to put my partial quotient over here. If I say 100 times 16, well, that is 1,600. And that's smaller than my dividend, so I know that 16 can go into 1,986 at least 100 times. So then I'm going to use subtraction to find out how much is left over. Okay? Basically, I have grouped 16 into groups of 100, or 100 groups of 16, and you can imagine a rectangle. In your mind, what are we doing? Well, you could imagine a rectangle that is 16 long and 100 wide. Well, that would be 1,600, right? And I've used that much. Now, I haven't divided the whole thing, but I've divided a big chunk of it. Okay? So how much is left over? Well, I have 386 left over. So, I can no longer do groups of 100, but I could definitely do a group of 10. 10 times 16, 160. The whole point of this, I don't have the multiplication super easy, so all I have to do is do a little bit of subtraction to keep track of how much I have left over each time. Okay? So, 8 minus 6 is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. I have 226 left over. So that means I can do another group of 10 times 16 is 160. And I'm going to subtract. And I have 66 left over. So now I can no longer do groups of 10. So I can just do groups of 1. So 16 and 16 and 16. It's going to be the easiest way to do it right now. So 116. I get 50. I'm going to put another 16, right? and I have 34 left over. And here, I could do 16 and 16. I could do two 16s if I wanted to. Let's go ahead and do that. So what if I did two 16s? Two 16s I know is going to equal 32, right? 2 times 16 is 13. Or, sorry, 2 times 16 is 32. So I'll go ahead and subtract that. And I have 2 left over. So how do I get my final quotient? I'm going to take all of these and add them together. 100 plus 10 plus 10 is 120, 121, 122, 123, 124. All of those added up is 124. And looking at I have 2 left over, or remainder 2. Now, it's possible I made a mistake, some kind of careless error still, so I wanted to do my check step. So my check step here is going to be 16 times 124. 6 times 4 is 24. 12, 13, 14. $1,984, and if I add 2 to that, my remainder, I should come up with my original dividend. And since those match, then I am convinced that that is the right answer. Okay, so this is one example of using partial quotients. As you move forward and you get more comfortable with this, there are faster ways to do this. So let's do another example here. So let's say I had 3,214, and I was dividing by, let's say, 16 again. Well, look at this. I know, I could just do multiplying by 100 again. 16 times 100 is 1,600. But what if I did a little bit of math first? I know that 16 times 2 is equal to 32. So that tells me something. That means 16 times 200. How much is that? 3,200, right? So this time around, using that a little bit, doing that little bit of extra math, I'm going to start with a partial quotient of 200. 200 times 16 is 3,200. When I subtract, I have 14 left over. And there's my answer. My partial quotient happens to be my final quotient this time. Really quick. Okay? Doesn't always work out that quickly. But you can, if you remember the strategy from before, with 16, you can make a tower. So let's say I had a third example, 4,921. Okay, divided by, let's say, 35. I might want to go and make a tower. So making a tower would be 35 times 1, 35 times 2, 35 times 3, etc. Okay, so I know it'd be 35. 35 times 2 is 70. 35 times 3 would be 90 plus 15, so 115. Okay, you don't have to do this fast. Take your time. It takes a little bit of extra work. But then you can go in and subtract, use these amounts to come up with partial quotients that are bigger. Let's say, 30 times 35 would be 1,150, right? 200 times 35 would be 7,000, right? Would be too much, but let's say 220 times 35 would be 700. And I might find that useful when I'm doing my partial quotients. Okay? I'm not going to do that whole problem, but just to realize that you can You don't have to just do multiples of 10. You could do multiples of 20, multiples of 200, multiples of 300, multiples of 30, multiples of 40. Okay, anything that works as long as you're keeping track. It's a very flexible way to solve division problems. So give it a shot and do some practice, and let me know if you have more questions.